Good morning, everyone. Today I am back on the Empath Summer Series, and I feel like I'm a little crooked. And today I want to talk about energy vampires. I also like to call them Dementors because I am a huge Harry Potter fan. If you're an HP fan, drop it below because I love all things Harry Potter. And I want to know your favorite book. And then I'll tell you mine. So I am going to talk about energy vampires and what they are and what you can do when you come across one of these dementors or if you have them in your family. So they are basically major energy suckers. Going back to Harry Potter, the Dementors, if you haven't read them, I should say, you need to read the books. But they are like these creatures that just totally. Hi, Shannon. Have you seen Harry Potter? Or watched it? I keep saying seen it, and like the movies are like nothing compared to the books. So, but in the books, they have a character or a thing that's like a Dementor, and they're like these almost like these angels of death sort of things, but they like come in and they literally suck the soul right out of you. And so that is what an energy vampire is. It is a human being that literally sucks the soul and energy out of you. And if you are an empath, it is even more draining. And so basically what happens is like when you're in contact with them, they suck your energy, they wind up feeling better and then you feel way worse. So there are some common side effects that you can get if you have encountered an energy vampire. I don't know why that's so hard for me to say, or a Dementor. And if you're watching this on replay, do hashtag replay for me. And if you're doing it live, hashtag live. And because it always kind of gets the algorithms up and then more people in the group get to see it and all the good things. So, okay, so think about somebody that might be an energy vampire in your life. Maybe it's a coworker or I don't know, a family member or a friend or whatever. So as I'm going through these questions and like imagine you with this person and tell me what happens to you. Okay, do your eyelids get heavy or you feel like you are going to take a nap when they are telling you something? It's like an auto zone out. Do you ever feel put down or that the rug has been pulled from underneath you? That's another one. Does your mood take a nosedive? No. Oh my God, I feel like I literally cannot speak today. And this might actually be like, I haven't really talked yet, so it might just be me at the beginning of the day. And so even though I've been up for 3 hours. Oh, does your mood take a nosedive? Okay, so it's kind of like emotions 101, but your moods are transient. They are like the weather. You're going to hear me say this all the time, right? When people want to be happy all the time, that's actually not possible, right? So it's like if you're in a mood, you're feeling content or you're feeling happy or you're feeling sad or maybe not sad, but like, and your mood changes automatically when you get in contact with them, they may be a Dementor in your life. Do you have the urge to binge on comfort food? Because as an empath, we love comfort foods, right? Because comfort foods or carbs or whatever, like it's an addiction, just like booze or drugs or shopping or video games, right? And food, especially carbs, are help numb you out, right? And so if you're feeling like all of a sudden you're talking to somebody and you're like, I need a bag of potato chips, or like a bowl of pasta, which is like my go-to. That is a cue for you to go, okay, wait a second. Why am I craving this? And what am I trying to numb out? And it might just be the person around you. Do you feel like slimed, or toxic, or agitated? Okay. That is also a big one, especially if there are people around you with personality disorders. Like, it could be really, really hard, and you might feel toxic or slimed. I always feel like, if I've been in contact with someone with a personality disorder, all of a sudden I get attacked, right? Like, I feel like, oh my God, I just got like literally energetically slimed, like the Nickelodeon green shit, right? This is a good one. Does this person like to corner you and tell you their life story? Okay. Can I get a hands up? Like, can you please validate that? Because I know just as an empath, like people just come over and tell me their life story. And I am a queen at setting boundaries. And so, but I'm just kind of like, okay, here, and Rob, my husband, laughs all the time because we'll go to a restaurant, he'll go to the bathroom, and he'll come back and I'll be like, well, I just got our server's entire life story. And he's like, this doesn't happen to me. And I'm like, yeah, it happen to you, but it happens to empaths a lot. But that cornering at a party or wherever, at any kind of function, like that cornering and that feeling that you get, is a cue to be like, oh, this person's a Dementor or an energy vampire. Does the person like to gossip or badmouth other people? So think about it. Like, if you ever were in a conversation like this, I know I have been, and then they start talking about somebody else, like, you could literally start to feel your energy drop. And if you haven't, start to tune into that and see how your energy feels around different people, and see if your vibe is getting lifted or if it's getting if it's dropping. Are they highly critical or controlling? That's another one. And is the person negative or self-obsessed? There have been people throughout my life at different parts where I'm just like, oh my God, all you're talking about is all of the negative stuff that's ever happened to you in your life. And it's literally this just vortex that just drags you energetically right in. So think about that. And if you feel like you want to drop it in the chat, who are they? Or what have you done to set boundaries and remove yourself from the situation? Okay. Common types of energy vampires. The narcissist. And I just want to take a moment here because for the over 20 years that I've been in this field, there have been what I like to call diagnoses du jour. Okay. So it's the diagnoses of the day, right? And so right now, 20 years ago was ADHD. Then a decade ago was bipolar, right? And I'm not saying that these are not real diagnoses by any shape or form, but it's kind of like right now, the narcissist is the diagnosis du jour. And I hear it all the time, and people are flinging around that this person's a narcissist, that person's a narcissist. And quite honestly, it's maybe 5% of the population. However, people could have narcissistic tendencies, okay? And so just a little PSA, don't throw that around as much as you might if you do. Anyway, so the narcissist is basically someone who has an exaggerated sense of self and somebody who actually lacks empathy. So that's the narcissist. The victim is that's a person who's just negatively self-obsessed and is always kind of looking at the negatives. He's like Eeyore, that's how I grew up saying it. Or that is the New York accent that comes through in Winnie the Pooh. This is the person who's constantly complaining about their life. It's the poor me. It's the why is life happening to me, right? And not for me. That's the victim. Super draining. The rageaholic. This person's super reactive and explosive, and not only like trauma inducing, but also a huge energy zapper. Oh, here's a good one. The nonstop talker. Okay. There is a psychological concept called the wall of words. And I'm giggling because while I love my dad, I always laugh that my family is really the reason I got into this field. So my dad does this, and he will literally just talk at you. Like, and it's just like, whoa. And so, but there's a term in psychology that's called the wall of words, okay? And that's basically that somebody never stops talking. And not only can you not get a word in edgewise, but that wall of words actually blocks you from getting to know that other person, right? It's like, I'm just going to keep talking at you so that you can't find out anything about me. So it's a defensive mechanism, but it is totally, hi, Melissa. It is totally draining. Trust me, firsthand experience, my entire life. The martyr is another Dementor or energy vampire. And these are also the victim, the persecutor, and the martyr or rescuer are all part of the drama triangle. And so when you're living in that space, you're living from a totally disempowered space. But the martyr is the person who's constantly trying to rescue you. Okay. I know someone in my peripheral life who's a total rescuer, and it's just like, just unsolicited advice and unsolicited help. And you're just like, and it's draining because it disempowers the person who, is having the challenge. And I get this question asked a lot. Like, is there a, like, how do you know the difference between if you're rescuing or helping? And the number one way is that if somebody comes to you with a problem and then that answer comes from anybody besides the person with the problem, you're rescuing them. So you want to help them. You want to offer up, like, I could give you some feedback, but this really has to come from you. Like, the decision has to come from you. And so that's the difference between rescuing and helping. And it's like unsolicited rescuing is a martyr. Look at all I've done for you. Like, that's pretty much what they say all the time, right? And then they get resentful if you don't reciprocate. Okay, the drama king or the drama queen. And it's just their entire life is drama, right? There's always something going on. There's, they're running around with their, like a chicken without their head, right? And it's like the people who constantly have drama in their life, it is, and if you're one of those people, think about like what effect you are having on other people, because it is exhausting, and it's especially exhausting for an empath. And here's the deal, like, if you are like an unevolved or unempowered empath, like, more chances than not, you might be a little bit dramatic. I'm just saying. So yeah, so those were a list of the different types of energy vampires that could show up in your life. And so, like, we have to learn how to deal with them, right? Because sometimes they're in your family and you don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater, so to speak, and you have to deal with them, right? But it's important. The key is to set boundaries, okay? If you are cornered by a person at a function, tell me to go to the bathroom. Just be like, oh, that's great, but you know what? I gotta like get another drink or go to the bathroom. Like people must think I have the smallest bladder in the world, but I actually kind of, I mean, you have three babies pop out of you, you're gonna be going to the bathroom a lot. But I use that excuse a lot. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm gonna just go run to the bathroom, because you have to cut that energy source off. Okay. And then the other thing is like, you know, if you're on a call with them or whatever, like keep the conversations short. Okay. And if they are the complaining type of energy vampire, you know, use your voice and tell them like, hey, I like, if they're like that negative energy complainer, blah, 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 right? Tell them like, hey, I could help you come up with solutions. Because venting, oh my God, can I get like can you like drop it in there? Like, does venting give you any energy when you're receiving it? Like it might make the other person feel better for a little bit, like the venter, but the one who's getting vented at is like, I feel it in my solar plexus. It's just like, bleh. So anyway, use your voice. Tell me you have to go to the bathroom. I could offer you solutions, and you got to set the boundaries with them, or else your energy is going to be sucked out of you. Okay, my friends, that is all for today, and I will see you in here all week, and enjoy the rest of your day and your week. All right, bye.